So good morning everyone. Welcome to my class on business statistics where I'm trying to solve the previous year questions which came on Bangalore City exam. And in our test of hypothesis chapter, in today class we'll do chi-square test problems, and the problem what we'll discuss in today class which came for February 2019, and this is the problem question number 5. You can expect a 5 marks problem on this topic called chi-square, and 100% you will get in exam this problem on chi-square test. Already we discussed ANOVA, we discussed one-way ANOVA, two-way ANOVA problems. You can go through those videos if you have any doubt on that. Okay, you can see this question number 5 here. It is written like derive chi-square statistics by stating suitable null and alternative hypothesis. Use 1% level of significance. Okay, so we use chi-square test whenever we talk about equality of more than two proportion, and we use ANOVA when we talk about equality of more than two means. Okay, so whenever you need to do test of hypothesis where either we talk either we talk about chi-square or either we talk about ANOVA, what we need to do first of all, we need to start the problem by writing null hypothesis. So if I'm trying to solve this problem, the first thing what I'll do, I'll write null hypothesis. Okay, so I'll write null hypothesis. So you can see in this problem, it is given like what this problem understand. You need to spend some time. Mathematically, you can do the problem of test of hypothesis very fast. But yeah, there will be a concept which will rotate around this problem, which you need to understand. So, like if you see in this problem, it is written that the data what you saw some you're seeing some data, right? So the data what you seeing that is about the scenario what is given. The scenario is about the the opinion of different sector of people with respect to the national policy on FDI. Okay, maybe the government is planning to work on FDI, and the because you know that ultimately government need revenue. Government get revenue either through taxation. Okay, or government will get revenue by working on privatization, or government will try to generate revenue by working on creation of real assets, and that government is doing through foreign direct investment, where government allows foreign players based on different sectors to come and do business in our country. So different section of society will react differently whenever they see the what you say the inclination of the government with regard to the players whenever they are trying to enter into a country. Many look into as an opportunity. Many look this as a threat. So here also in this problem there's a scenario which is given to us. So the different section of society here is being given, probably a social worker, lawyers, and university student, and because a government is planning to come up with some changes, or maybe they are trying to come up with new plans for the FDI regulation in our country. So different people came up with their different opinion. Some are in favor of, some are against, and someone having no opinion. So indifferent, you can come up with your own meaning or the meaning from any known search media about what do you mean by indifferent. So that is what is given here. So what I'll write in null hypothesis. In null hypothesis, you'll say that whenever you do chi-square test and you to write null hypothesis, you say that things are independent. The two parameters, whatever is given, what are the two parameter here given? One is the occupation of a different section of society, and the another parameter is what? The another parameter is the opinion. So I can write in null hypothesis. I can write that the opinion. You can write your own terms of English. So about the national opinion about the national policy on FDI, opinion about national policy on FDI is independent about national policy on FDI is independent of the occupation of occupation of occupation of different section of society. Occupation of different sections of society. Different sections of society. So this you can write in null hypothesis that the opinion what the people are having on the national policy of FDI, their opinion about this national policy on FDI is independent of the occupation in which they are engaged. So that I'll write in null hypothesis. Okay, and then I'll write alternative hypothesis. Once you're done with null hypothesis, you can write alternative hypothesis. I'll write alternative hypothesis. I'll write here that the opinion about national policy, opinion about the national policy on FDI, okay, uh, is dependent on the occupation of different section of society, occupation of different sections of society. So in null hypothesis, I said that the opinion what you're carrying about this the government recent changes on national policy on FDI, your opinion is independent of the occupation on which you're engaged. That I wrote in null hypothesis. While in alternative hypothesis, I am saying that whatever opinion you are carrying, that opinion is somehow dependent on your occupation. So based on your occupation, you're trying to formulate an opinion. So that is what I wrote in alternative hypothesis. Okay, then here what I can do, I can come up with some terminologies like P1, P2, P3, all that. So here I can say P1. What do you mean P1? P1 I can write proportion of the people who are social worker and they are in favor of the national policy on FDI. P2 I can write proportion of the people who are social worker and who are against of the national policy on FDI. I can write P3 as the proportion of people who are social worker and who are indifferent on the national policy on FDI. Then I can write P4, P5, P6 like that. So I can formulate different proportions here. I can formulate uh, different proportion here. So in null hypothesis H naught, I can write P1 is equal to P2 is equal to P3. Like this, I can write. Okay. In H1 alternative hypothesis, I say at least two of them are not equal. At least two of them are not equal. At least two of them are not equal. Okay. And I can define what is P1, what is P2, what is P3. Okay. So no need to write everything. You can simply here I can write simply what is P1. So P1 means proportion of P1 means proportion of people who are social worker, proportion of people who are social worker, proportion of people who are social worker and are in favor of national policy on FDI and they are in favor of national policy on FDI. Then I can write P2 means proportion of people who are social worker, proportion of people who are in social worker and they against in the against the national policy on FDI. P3 means proportion of the people who are social worker. They are indifferent about the opinion on national policy on FDI. Similarly, I can write P4. P4 means proportion of people who are lawyer, proportion of people who are lawyer and they are in favor of national policy on FDI. Then I can say P5 means proportion of people who are lawyer and who are against in the favor of FDI, against on the national policy on FDI. P6 I can say proportion of people who are lawyer and who are indifferent about the national policy on FDI. P7 P7 means proportion of people who are student, proportion of people who are student, they are in the favor of national policy on FDI. P8 means proportion of people who are student and they are against the and they are against the national policy on FDI. P9 means proportion of people who are student and they are indifferent about national policy on FDI. So I hope you're understanding. Very simple thing I'm talking about. So we are doing the same thing in ANOVA also. You remember, no? In ANOVA, when we talk about in ANOVA, we talk about equality of means of more than two set of data. Okay, and in chi-square we talk about equality of proportion on more than two set of data. So we have null hypothesis, we have alternative hypothesis. In chi-square test, in null hypothesis, we make the thing equal, not equal. I mean to say, we make the thing as like independent. The two set of data, what is given, we say that both the set of data are independent of each other. While in alternative hypothesis, we say that no, they are not independent, they're dependent of each other. So we need to do this test of hypothesis. That's what we are doing. We need to do this on what basis? We are doing this on sample data calculation. Here, and when we talk about chi-square test, when we talk about chi-square test, I hope you remember the calculation of, when we say calculation of chi-square statistics, when we calculate chi-square statistics, the formula what we follow for that is basically summation of f naught minus fe whole square divided by fe. This is the formula what we do here. Okay, where what is fe? Fe is your expected frequency. Get the expected frequency with the formula called row total into column total divide by n. With this, we get the expected frequency. Okay, observed frequency will be what is given in the data. That would be our observed frequency. Here you can see 80, 30, 10, 70, 60, 20, 60, 60, 40. Those are your observed frequency. And sometime in the problem, the total, row total, column total and all is given. If it's not given, we know how to calculate. We know how to make a table and calculate it. Okay, and then once we find out this calculated value of this chi-square statistics, we'll compare this value with the theoretical value of chi-square statistics. We'll compare this with the theoretical value of the chi-square statistics. We'll calculate this with the theoretical value of the chi-square statistics. Okay, and and this theoretical value of this chi-square statistics, how we can get, we do this with some degree of freedom. We'll find degree of freedom. So the degree of freedom what we use will be number of row minus 1 to number of column minus 1. So we use this formula for degree of freedom. So at some level of significance, if nothing is given, we'll take as 1%. Okay, so that we are going to do. So here in this problem, if you see in this problem, so we need to do this test of hypothesis. In null hypothesis, we say that both the variables are independent of each other. In alternative hypothesis, we say that no, they are not independent. They are somehow connected or dependent with each other. So that is the how we formulate the problem. I hope everyone is understanding. And then I'll give a topic called calculation of. Then I'll give a topic called calculation of. I'll give a topic called calculation of chi-square, calculate chi-square statistics. I'll give a topic called calculation of chi-square statistics, and I'll draw this table. Once I've drawn this table, if total is given, if total is not given, I'll calculate the total by myself. As you can see in this problem, total was not given. So I calculated the total, row total and column total by myself. Okay, once I've done this, then what I do, once I'm done this, once I'm done with this, then I will write my observed frequency. So calculation of chi-square statistics, where I'll draw the table, and then whatever was given in the table, that I'll write as observed frequency. That is my F naught. So that is 80. You can write 80, 30, 10, then 70, then 60, then 20, 70, 60, 20, then 60, then 60, and then 40. This is all, you know that. So this all what was given in the table. I'll write 80, 30, 10, 70, 60, 20, 60, 60, 40. That is your observed frequency. Okay, then I'll calculate my expected frequency. So the expected frequency for 80 will be row total. Row total is 120. Column total is 210 divided by total. Total is 430. So like this, I'll do for all. So like this, I'll do for all. So for 80, what is row total? 120. Column total 210 divided by 430. So like this, I'll do for all 30. For 30, that is 120 into 150 divided by 430. Okay, so I'll write 120 into 150 divided by 430. Similarly, I'll do for 10. That is 120 into 70 divided by 430. Here, I hope you are understanding. For 70, after that, again 70, that is 150 into 210. 150 into 210 divided by 430. I hope like this I'll do for all. For 60, 150 into 150 by 430, 150 into 150 by 430. Okay, and for 20, I'll write 150 into 70, 150 into 70 by 430. Again for 60, I'll write 160 into 210, 160 into 210 by 430. Again for 60, I'll write 160 into 150 by 410, 160 into 150 by 430. Okay, and then for last value 40, I'll write 160 into 70 divided by 430. So like this, I'll find for each row and column. Anyone, any doubt? This is my expected frequency. This is my expected frequency. So 120, you can do this. This is my first value, 58.6047. 58.6047. This is 50.6047. This is my expected frequency. Then 120 to 150 by 430. So 120, 120, 120 into 150 divide by 430. That is 41.86047. This is this is 41.8605 simply as I think. Then 120, 120 into 70 by 430. This is 120 into 70 divided by 430. So you'll get 19.5349. 19.5349. Okay. Then 150 into 210. 150 into 210 divide by 430. Like this you can do. So this is 150 into 210 for 70, 150 into 210 by 430. So then this 14, then it is 19, not 15. It is 19.41, then it is 73.25581, 73.25581, 73.25581. Okay, then next one is 150 into 150 divided by 430. It is 52.3256. 52.3256. 52.3256. 52.3256. Okay. Then after that, 52 point, then 70 into 150 divided by 430. We'll get 24.4187. 24.4187. 24.41. 24.4186. 24.4186. Okay. Then after that, you'll do is 210 into 160 divide by 430. If you do, you'll get 78.1395. 78.1395. Like this, I'll just find very easy. The only thing is little bit boring. Then 160 into 150 by 430. 160 into 150 divided by 430. So you'll get 55.8139. 55.814. Then 160 into 70 by 430. 160 into 70 by 430 is 26.0465. 26.0465. So these are the values. These you just use a formula called row total into column total divide by total values. So with that you will get their expected frequency. This is 80, this is 30, then 10, and then 70, then 60, then 20, then 60, 60, 40. That is your observed frequency. So this is your observed frequency. This is your expected frequency. Okay. Now what you will do, you will find f naught minus you'll find f naught minus fe. Next thing what you'll do, you'll find f naught minus f naught minus fe. This minus this. You just copy it. You find f naught minus fe. So once we get the value of f naught, once we get this, f naught means observed frequency. So whatever the value of observed frequency you got, and then you can find the value of expected frequency. Then you can find the value of your expected frequency. So once you find the value of expected frequency, so what you need to do, you need to find observed frequency minus expected frequency is f naught minus fe. Subtract this value. So 80 minus 58.6047. 21.395320. 20.3954. And 30 minus 41 minus 11.8605 minus 11.8605. Simply 10 minus 19, so that will be minus 9.5349 minus 9.5349, then minus 3.255 minus 3.25581, then 7.67, 7.6744, 7.6744, then minus 0.4186, then minus 18.1395 minus 18.13, and then 4. Then 4.1860, then 4.1860, and then 13.9534, 13.9534. So you get that what you got, that is f naught minus fe. So once we get f naught minus fe, okay, when we are doing calculation, then the next thing what we need to do, we need to find the value of f naught minus fe whole square. So we need to find the square of these values. Simply do the square of these values. You get f naught minus fe, then do the square of these values. F naught minus fe whole square, 457.761, then 140.6706, then 90.9154, 40, then 10.60032, 58 point, do the square, whatever the value you're getting, just do the square. 21 square is 441, but 21.595, 21.3954 square you have to do, minus 11.605 square you have to do, minus 9.5349 square you have to do. Simply do the square of all numbers. So 58.89, 58.8967, then 19.524, then 329.329.0427. Clear? Anyone have any doubt? 17.17.5229.5229. So each number find simply the square value. F naught means Fe square 194. 13 square is 169. 13.95 square value 194.6998. And 14 square is 196. This is 13.95 square. Simply the F naught minus Fe value net. Okay, Prashant. So F naught minus Fe value, whatever you get, you simply do the square of that. You simply do the square of that. So once you get F naught minus Fe square, once you get that, first you know what was your F naught observed frequency, whatever is given in the table, that was your observed frequency. Fe is your expected frequency, that is row total into column total divided by total value. You find F naught minus Fe, then you did the square of them, and then once you're done with the square of them, once you're done with the square of them, what you do F naught minus Fe whole square divided by Fe. Okay, so what this value, what you get, divided by Fe. So this value divide by the Fe value. So once you get this F naught minus Fe square, divide this by Fe. So the first one, whatever this value you get, this 457.761, divide this by 58.6047, 140.60, 140.6705 divided by 41.8605, 90.9140 divided by 19.55349. So this F naught minus Fe square, whatever the value you get, you divide Fe. So you divide this by Fe. So this 7.811, 7.811. So the pen is not working. So 7.811. Like to do this, once you get this F naught minus Fe, the final value. So what is your calculation of chi-square statistic? The sum of this. The sum of this is your chi-square statistics value. Calculated chi-square statistics value. The sum of this. Do the sum of this. So what we are doing here, please understand the formula what we are using, the formula of calculation of chi-square statistics. Understand we are doing test of hypothesis. Whenever we do test of hypothesis, there's a statement which is passed about the population parameter. So it can be correct, it can be not correct, it can be correct, it won't be correct. So we don't know this is correct or not correct. So in order to prove that that is correct or not correct, what we do, we calculate the value, like we calculate a value which is your calculated chi-square statistics value. So here we are doing chi-square test, so we are calculating chi-square statistics value, and the formula for that is this this is your formula. This is your formula for your chi-square statistics. This is your formula. So always either you do ANOVA, Z test, T test, whatever you do test of hypothesis, you need to calculate a value. So there's a formula will be given in the textbook to calculate that value. For here, this is your formula. Okay, this is your formula. Now in this formula, F naught F0 is the data what is given in the problem. So whatever the data is given in the problem. So like you can see 80, 30, 10, 70, 60, 20, 60, 60, 40. Whatever the data given in the problem. So 1 minute, be online. So here we are doing chi-square statistics. So whatever is the data given in the problem, so that will take as a observed frequency as a F naught, and then we'll find the expected frequency. The expected frequency, we know the formula, that is row total into column total divided by the total value. So here we use the formula. So we use the formula for that, and we got all this value, that is your FE value. So we use this and we get the FE value. Already I have done everything here in Excel also. I hope you can see this. So whatever was given, that was your F naught, and you will find by the formula called F naught, like row total into column total divided by the total value, that you call as FE. So once you get the FE, you find F naught minus FE. Okay, so you simply subtract. No, it's very simple. Observed frequency minus expected frequency, and then you do the square of that. Okay, so F naught minus Fe square each value, and then you divide it by Fe. The F naught minus Fe square, whatever you get, divided by the expected frequency, and the sum total of that, and the sum total of that is your calculated chi-square statistics value. The sum total of that is your calculated chi-square statistics value. That is your calculated chi-square statistics value. This is your sum of F naught minus Fe whole square divided by Fe. This is your uh, calculated chi-square statistics value. Do this. So this value, what you get, F naught minus Fe square divided by Fe. Okay, divided by Fe. So this is 7.11. This is 7.811. Okay, divide by Fe. This is F naught minus Fe whole square, and this is your Fe. So divide 457.761 divided by 58.6047, 140.6706 divide by 41.8605, that is 3.36045. Then next one is 4.653. Then next one is 0.1447. You can do that. Okay. Then next one is 1.1255. 1.1255. You simply divide. You can use calculator. Calculator anyways allowed in exam. then 0.79, 0.799557. You can do this. So then 421, 4.21, 4.2106. Then 0.31, 0.3139, 0.31395, and then 7.475. So you do the sum of this, sum of F naught minus Fe whole square divided by Fe. If you do, you'll get the answer as 29.89, 29.8952, 29.8952. That is sum of F naught minus Fe whole square divided by Fe. So that is the value what you will get. Okay, so you know your null hypothesis, you know your alternative hypothesis. Okay, so this is your calculated chi-square statistic value, and this you will calculate, this you will compare with the theoretical chi-square statistics value. Now when we talk about calculation of, if I talk about calculation, if I talk about uh, calculation of, if I talk about the calculation of theoretical chi-square, if I talk about the calculation of theoretical chi-square statistics value, so we'll use the formula of degree of freedom is equal to number of row minus 1 into number of column minus 1. You can see in the problem how many rows are given. So you have 3 row, 3 column. So you have 3 row, 3 column, 3 row, 3 column. So the degree of freedom is 4, and you have to do this test of hypothesis at a level of significance. You have to use level of significance of 1%, or to use level of significance of 1%. Now what you do, so at a degree of freedom of 4 at 1% level of significance, find the theoretical, find the theoretical chi-square value, theoretical chi-square value. So the theoretical chi-square value you can find. So for that you can use chi-square table. That you can use chi-square table also. So you can use square table here. So if I ask you what is chi-square distribution table, so you have to use degree of freedom 4 at 1%. 1% means 0.01. So the value is 13.28. You can see 13.28. I hope you can see this value, guys. So 0.01 means 1%. 6.63 is degree of freedom 1. 9.21 is the degree of freedom 2. And 11.34 is the degree of freedom 3. And 13.28 is the degree of freedom 4. So your theoretical chi-square statistic value is 13.28, 13.28, and the calculated chi-square value, and the calculated chi-square value is, how much is the value? That is 29.8952. Okay, so you can see, since the calculated chi-square value, since the calculated chi-square value is more than the theoretical chi-square value, you will accept the null hypothesis only when the calculated value is less than the theoretical value. Since the calculated chi-square value is more than the theoretical chi-square value is more than the theoretical chi-square value. Okay, we do not accept the null hypothesis. So we do not accept the null hypothesis. We are not accepting the null hypothesis means what? What do you mean by that? If you are not accepting the null hypothesis, it means what this means. You go to the alternative hypothesis. What you wrote about alternative hypothesis? What that means? It means what? It means what? It means it means it means it means the opinion about the national policy on FDI is dependent on the occupation of different sections of society. So you are rejecting the null hypothesis means you are accepting the alternative hypothesis. It means the opinion. It means the, it means the opinion. It means the opinion about national policy on FDI. It means the opinion of people about national policy of FDI. The opinion about national policy in FDI by different section of society, different different occupation based people, by different based sector of people, section of society. It means opinion on national policy of DI by different uh, okay is dependent on their occupation. This is what we write here. So this all come for 6 marks. So if you write little bit less also, that's fine. But ANOVA problem which come for 15 marks, you have to give as much proper detailed explanation as you can, because that's gonna come for 15 marks. I hope you understood this. Anyone, any doubt, any question? Chi-square value, your calculated chi-square value, you use the formula was, you use the formula, this was your formula, f naught minus fe whole square by fe. With that, you calculated your chi-square value. That value what you get as per your calculation is 29.8952. You have to compare with the theoretical chi-square value. For the theoretical chi-square value, you use degree of freedom. The formula for degree of freedom you use is a number of row minus 1 into number of column minus 1. So you get the degree of freedom 4, and level of significance was given to you at 1%. So at 1% level of significance for degree of freedom 4, number 4, you find the critical chi-square value, and that what you get here is 13.28. So 13.28 is your theoretical chi-square value, but your calculated chi-square value is 29.8952. So always remember that when you are doing test of hypothesis, in test of hypothesis, you are validating the data what is given to you, the data what is given to you are validating that data with the theoretical value. So the value what we get here is 29.89 should be less than the theoretical value. If the calculated value is more than the theoretical value, the then you will reject the null hypothesis. 13.28 Rajendra, I hope you are having proper internet connection, because this I'm showing you for many time. We we will ask for chi-square distribution table, and once you ask chi-square distribution table from the examiner, see the degree of freedom 4. So at degree of freedom 4, you'll see the level of significance 1%. So at 1% level of significance, you'll see the degree of freedom 4. So you can see 6.63 is the degree of freedom of 1, 9.21 is the degree of freedom of 2, 11.34 is the degree of freedom of 3, and 13.28 is the degree of freedom of 4. So with that, uh, Okay, so with that, you will find the theoretical chi-square value. And once you get the theoretical chi-square value, once you get the theoretical chi-square value, that value is your maximum that this data can give you. But here you are getting more than that. If you are getting a value more than 13.28, means you'll reject the null hypothesis. You are rejecting the null hypothesis means you'll accept the alternative hypothesis. So your null hypothesis was the opinion what the people are having about the national policy in FDI is independent of the kind of occupation they are into. So it doesn't matter that whatever kind of job you are doing, whatever kind of business you are doing, that 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 your occupation does not determining your opinion on FDI. Okay, but an alternative hypothesis is saying that your opinion is determining your occupation is determining your opinion. I hope you understood this. Anyone, any doubt? So I believe you all have understood this chi-square calculation, which came in year 2019. Chi-square topic, only 6 marks question come from this topic. It's not at all a difficult topic, very general topic, and calculation is also not very difficult. You can do it very easily. Little bit calculation is involved, and it's very easy and very scoring. So statistics altogether is very easy subject where you can score very good marks. I believe you're taking it very seriously, and I make videos for every class. I hope you people go through these videos. Once I upload these videos, I'm not finding much views regarding to that. So that surprised me. But anyway, it's up to you people. So if you want, you can go through these videos and get benefit from it. So it's time to wind up the class. Anyone, any question? Anyone, any question? If no one have any doubt, any question, then thank you everyone. See you all in next class. Take care. Bye.